In this video, we are going to work an example problem. So it says the formula for calculating equivalent resistance of a total of n resistors wired in series is R sub S equals R1 plus R2 plus all the way out to Rn. The formula for calculating equivalent resistance of a total of n resistors wired in parallel is 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus all the way out to 1 over Rn. Write a function that receives a variable number of inputs and returns the equivalent resistance for resistors in series and parallel. Okay, so all right, so here's our function definition, and we want it to have a variable number of arguments, right? So we would put star args in there, okay? And now we would work on calculating these values in here, all right? So in series, that's going to be just some args, right? That's all you have to do there. And so now it's this one, right? 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 and so on and so forth. All right, so we want to add all those up. So I'm just going to declare a variable called parallel and set it equal to 0. And then I'm just going to get a for loop to go over that. So for resistor in args, parallel equals parallel, the old version, plus 1 over resistor. Okay, so each time through, right, the first thing, right, in args, then it takes that and puts 1 over that and then adds it to 0. Right? And then the next time through, it does that for R2. So the second time through the loop, it will be 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2, right, stored in parallel right here. All right, and so that's all we would have to do. And then finally, just return, right? And if we want to return both, then we need to use a tuple, right, to do that. All right, so that should be it. So let's check that out. So if we do equivalent resistance, let's just start off easy. And we'll just assume, right, this code would mess up if any one of the resistors, right, is 0. So, but let's just not worry about that for the time being. So just trying to illustrate how to use tuples for a variable number of arguments and to return more than one value as a tuple. So, okay, so when we run this, right, with 1, we should get 5, right, for the series. And then for the parallel, we should get 1/5, right, which is 0.2. And when we run this for these two arguments, right, we should get 3, right, for the series, and 1 plus a half, right, which is 3 halves. All right, so that looks good. Let's try a couple more. All right, so that looks right on the on the series, right? So that's yep, 15, and then we could just hand check the other one. 1 plus a half plus a third plus a fourth plus a fifth. Yeah, looks good. All right, and so we could do that with any number of arguments here. All right, that's it on this one.